For 9 seasons spanning nearly a decade, the Walton family invited America into their humble mountain home, sharing the struggles and triumphs of a large clan fighting to survive the Great Depression and World War II. But behind the wholesome facade of Walton's Mountain, the actors who brought these beloved characters to life experienced their own extraordinary journeys, some filled with remarkable success, others marked by profound tragedy that would forever change the landscape of this iconic series. Today, we pull back the curtain on the lives of these talented performers, tracing their paths from the dusty roads of rural Virginia to where destiny ultimately led them. Richard Thomas was barely 21 years old when he stepped into the shoes of John Boy Walton, the aspiring writer whose sensitive narration guided viewers through each episode. As the eldest son documenting his family's daily existence through weathered journals, Thomas captured something incredibly rare, the authentic voice of a generation witnessing America transform before their eyes. His performance resonated so deeply that his closing line, "Good night, John Boy," transcended the small screen to become permanently woven into the fabric of American pop culture. That Emmy Award he earned validated what millions of viewers already knew: they were watching something special. Now at 74, Thomas has proven that true talent never fades, spending recent years commanding Broadway stages across the country as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, bringing Harper Lee's iconic moral compass to life with the same quiet intensity that made him a household name half a century ago. Michael Learned arrived on set at 33, carrying the enormous responsibility of portraying Olivia Walton, the spiritual anchor of this struggling family. Her performance shattered every stereotype of the simple country housewife, revealing layers of complexity in a woman who balanced unwavering religious conviction with a fierce protective instinct toward her 7 children and husband. The Television Academy recognized her brilliance with not 1, not 2, but 3 Emmy Awards for this single role, a record that speaks to the depth she brought to every scene. Today, at 86, Learned continues proving that age is merely a number, recently appearing in the hit series Duster with the same commanding presence that made her America's favorite television mother, her elegant screen presence undiminished by the passing decades. Ralph Waite was 44 when he became John Walton Sr., the rugged sawmill owner whose calloused hands and gentle heart defined fatherhood for millions of Americans. His character often stood at odds with organized religion yet lived by a moral compass so unshakable that viewers couldn't help but admire his quiet integrity. That warm, gravelly voice became synonymous with paternal wisdom, offering comfort to viewers navigating their own difficult times. When we lost Waite in 2014 at 85 to age-related illness, the entertainment industry lost one of its kindest souls, a man who mentored young actors like Mark Harmon on NCIS well into his final years, passing along lessons that extended far beyond the craft of acting. Judy Norton was merely 14 when she first appeared as Mary Ellen Walton, the eldest daughter whose rebellious spirit refused confinement by society's expectations. Her character's evolution from restless tomboy to dedicated nurse and eventually doctor mirrored the changing role of women throughout the 20th century, inspiring countless young viewers to pursue careers they might never have considered. Now at 67, Norton has become the unofficial historian of Walton's Mountain, hosting a popular YouTube channel where she shares behind-the-scenes secrets with the same enthusiasm she brought to her character decades ago, ensuring that new generations discover the magic of this beloved series. John Walmsley joined the cast at 16, bringing genuine musical prodigy to the role of Jason Walton, the second eldest son who expressed deepest emotions through guitar strings rather than words. Those hours spent playing at the Dewdrop-In represented something beautiful, an artistic soul finding melody amidst Depression-era hardship. Now 69, Walmsley has fully embraced his musical calling, retiring from acting to live quietly in Cornwall, trading Hollywood spotlights for the authentic pursuit of composition and sound, proving that sometimes the most fulfilling path leads away from fame entirely. Will Gere was 70 years old when he brought Grandpa Zebulon Walton to life, drawing upon his real-life experience as a botanist and social activist to create a character rooted in profound authenticity. His connection to the land, those teaching moments in the garden with his grandchildren, reflected decades of genuine passion for nature. When respiratory failure claimed him in 1978 at 76, the show faced an impossible decision. They wrote his death into the series, allowing cast members and viewers to mourn together in one of television's most heartbreaking farewell sequences, proving that some losses transcend fiction entirely. Ellen Corby arrived on set at 61, embodying Grandma Esther Walton with a feisty spirit that masked deep vulnerability. Her Bible-quoting matriarch clashed constantly with Grandpa Zeb, yet beneath those arguments lay a love so fierce it defined the show's emotional core. When Corby suffered a debilitating stroke in real life, she demonstrated extraordinary courage by returning to the screen, allowing writers to incorporate her physical struggles into the storyline, a groundbreaking moment for disability representation in television. We said goodbye to this three-time Emmy winner in 1999 at 87, honoring a legacy that forever changed how television portrayed aging and resilience. Mary Elizabeth McDonough was just 11 when she began playing Erin Walton, the middle daughter whose journey from childhood to womanhood unfolded before millions of viewers. Beyond her acting career, McDonough transformed into a powerful advocate for women's health and body positivity, sharing personal battles to help others facing similar struggles. Now at 64, she maintains close bonds with her television siblings while building a successful career as author and public speaker, proving that the connections forged on Walton's Mountain extended far beyond the cameras. Eric Scott brought mischievous energy to Ben Walton at 13, playing the third son whose big dreams and quick schemes provided endless entertainment. His character's evolution from troublemaker to responsible family man culminated in that memorable elopement with Cindy, showcasing maturity beneath the entrepreneurial spirit. Now 67, Scott found remarkable success outside Hollywood entirely, building a courier company that reflects the same driven nature he brought to his character, proving that Ben Walton's business acumen was never just acting. Earl Hamner Jr. was 49 when he became the voice of the series, narrating each episode with that warm Virginia accent that invited audiences into his actual childhood memories. As creator of the show and real-life inspiration for John Boy, he transformed personal history into universal lessons about love, survival, and family. When cancer claimed him in 2016 at 92, he left behind a masterpiece that immortalized his family and hometown forever, proving that the most powerful stories come from authentic experience. David W. Harper captured innocence perfectly as Jim Bob Walton, starting his journey at just 10 years old. His mechanically gifted dreamer, fascinated by airplanes and engines rather than books, grew from quiet child into young man facing war's realities while maintaining that gentle nature fans adored. Now 64, Harper lives privately, occasionally emerging at fan conventions to reunite with television family, celebrating the show that defined his childhood without letting it define his entire life. Joe Conley brought warmth to Ike Godsey at 44, running that general store that served as community heart. His comedic chemistry with on-screen wife Cora Beth provided some of the series' most memorable moments, balancing drama with light-hearted domestic bickering. When dementia complications took him in 2013 at 85, we lost the kindest shopkeeper in television history, a character whose generosity reflected the actor's own gentle spirit. Cammie Cotler was merely 7 when she became Elizabeth Walton, the outspoken youngest sibling whose unfiltered perspective on adult problems provided both humor and wisdom. Watching her grow from precocious little girl to thoughtful young woman brought viewers immense joy across 9 seasons. After the show ended, Cotler chose education over entertainment, eventually becoming a middle school principal. Now at 60, she regularly organizes cast reunions, keeping the Walton family spirit alive for devoted fans worldwide. The supporting players who populated Walton's Mountain brought equal depth to this rich tapestry. Ronnie Claire Edwards arrived at 42 as the unforgettable Cora Beth Godsey, whose pretentious airs masked deep vulnerability. John Ritter displayed early genius at 24 as Reverend Matthew Fordwick before becoming comedy legend on Three's Company. Helen Klebe and Mary Jackson created magic as the Baldwin sisters, their on-screen chemistry so perfect that their deaths just 2 years apart felt poetically fitting. Tom Bauer shook things up as Dr. Curtis Willard at 38, his controversial Pearl Harbor storyline adding layers of tragedy to family history. We lost him very recently, passing in May 2024 at 86, leaving behind a vast body of work including Die Hard 2. Peggy Ray brought chaotic love as Cousin Rose Burton at 58, filling difficult shoes during the show's transition period. John Crawford stood as Law and Order as Sheriff E.P. Bridges at 51, his fairness and friendship defining community leadership. Robert Downer brought wild humor as Yancey Tucker at 41, his eccentric schemes providing comic relief with surprising wisdom beneath the chaos. Lynn Hamilton arrived at 42 as Vertie Grant Foster, bringing dignity to storylines about segregation and resilience during Depression-era South. Now 95, she stands as living legend, a pioneer who ensured diverse voices were heard and respected on Walton's Mountain. Marie-Claire Costello played teacher Rosemary Hunter at 36, recognizing John Boy's talent and encouraging dreams beyond the sawmill. Now 89, she remains fondly remembered as the mentor who helped launch the literary voice of the Walton family. Leslie Winston brought youthful energy as Cindy Walton at 22, her whirlwind romance with Ben adding new domestic dynamics to the crowded house. Now 68, she found success behind the scenes as a Foley artist, creating sound effects for major Hollywood productions. Louis Arquette injected capitalist realism as J.D. Pickett at 42, his character-actor charm making even greedy moments enjoyable. When heart failure claimed him in 2001 at 65, he left behind the famous Arquette acting dynasty that continues dominating Hollywood today. The legacy of Walton's Mountain endures not merely because of the stories told, but because of the authentic humanity these performers brought to every scene. Through joy and tragedy, success and struggle, they created something timeless, a television family that continues welcoming new generations into their humble mountain home, reminding us all that the bonds of love and resilience transcend any era.